Hey there, fellow residents of New Earth. Welcome to the PSD broadcast. I am your host, Bob Sparkle Doom. Enjoy your stay. Today, we are jumping back into a door. As you can see, I'm now at roughly 30 minutes. Why is it not picking up my controller? Okay, let's try that again. There we go. So this will be my final session. If we are able to capture the last two creatures I need, technically I need a third one because I released one by accident. That will happen in the stream. If not, it doesn't, unfortunately. And then we will not have been able to adore them all. So basically what I want to start off is kind of my final thoughts on the game, while we're putting together a party and going out to adventure. So let me first give a rundown. If you want to play this game, go ahead. My recommendations, if you want to get into it, is learn the mechanics and read everything very neatly. Also, don't worry, you don't have to so much worry about how many bonded creatures you are, because you are most likely not going to play with all of them. I've got all of these, and the ones that I like are maybe like 8 to a maximum of 12. I did cheat the amount of slots I have here so that I don't have to sit and grind just so that I can have slots. And I wanted to be able to go, okay, yeah, I have 39. I've got all the ones that I need. It says 35. So, I think there was something else I might have released by accident. But I'm not going to worry too much about it. So, basically, don't worry about that too much. Another thing, if you're looking for resources, come and check the search thing here. But I didn't notice until now. So I understood the search thing to a degree. You can click, let's say you need a material to upgrade your artifacts. Click here. And then press search. If you do not see it on the map, you have to change here at the bottom the difficulty. And then you will see that search icon. There by Forgotten Lands, you can see it is there. Then you will find it. So you actually, it's difficult dependent where you can find the different items if you use the search. This will help a lot if you want to upgrade your artifacts. The artifacts do take a crap ton of money to upgrade. That is unfortunately part of it. And as you can see here, each artifact has a certain quality max depending on where you slot it. So the first two, if you slot them here, you can only get up to level 1 quality, which is the first upgrade basically. Then the last slot will you be able to get up to 3rd quality. So here I've got one that I've raised to 2 quality, one I've raised to 3 quality. I think those make a difference. Then for artifacts that actually make a difference, I feel the artifact of Fedoras increases the damage quite significantly. Which artifacts you're going to find depends if the game is giving to you or if it's just by random luck. You still have to buy them after you found them from the shopkeep. So another one that I found was pretty good. When your HP is below something, all your creatures do more damage. Your HP is going to most of the time going to be below 50. So unless you're some god tier gamer, I don't know. I like this one. Increases a special recharge. Your creatures specials are just very useful and generally very strong. Unless you've used creatures that don't do very interesting stuff. But it's up to you to choose. Got this to increase my stamina regeneration. I don't know how big an effect that really has. Because when you get the essences, they generally increase your regeneration up to 20%, and even then I'm like, do I even feel the difference? I don't know. Fragment Pendant, I think is pretty good. when your creature receives damage, special abilities of its creatures is charged by 100% of the damage, which can be anything from like 4 to 20 damage, which is... I'm trying to figure out if... What is the amount of essence I need to... Oh, not essence. Special energy that need to be able to do something. Let's check here. Is it gonna give me that stat? Well, I swear I've seen it somewhere. Well, it doesn't really matter. So that's just a bit of extra energy. It's not the best item, but I've got it here anyway. This one I think only works in cursed areas, so I might actually just swap that one out. But there are some artifacts that are going to help you through the game a lot more than others. Like, I don't generally see getting a minor boost to your speed as something that's going to help you. But yeah, that's my general tips, at least for the beginning. If I can think of any more as I go, I will elucidate everyone in it. The other thing is, I found if you've got a party going, think of what you're facing. If you're facing something quick, you don't want to bring out something that is slow because it is just going to eat damage and not be able to attack. If you're facing something slow, you can maybe hit it with something else that's slow and powerful. But if you've got something quick like, I call this Demone, but I think it's Mikra. If you've got a Mikra, it attacks quite quickly, so it can interrupt. But it can't interrupt while things have armor, unfortunately. Or well, that's just part of the game. And you're gonna have to play around with what you like to play with. But this is 4 of my favorite creatures. Then I've got Bruxa is good. I can't remember everyone's names anymore. But my Felix here is, they go by different names. I've changed their names. Felix is pretty okay. Phobos was good. Kroof, Smush. Kitzo's okay. Some of the creatures I don't really understand how I would use them very well was like the Club Woo, because it sticks on you and then you have to press again for it to... That's when its special ability activates. It sticks on you. And it defends you, I guess. But generally you don't want to be next to the other creatures. And then all of the riding creatures. I don't like riding around in the battlefield. Especially when it only happens on specials. I'm gonna put the music down a bit. Just there. Okay. So... the riding mechanic was not my favorite. Maybe someone else can get better use of it. Okay. But yeah, that's... let's see what else. In the beginning, Bambi is pretty good. Can stun stuff and do damage. Gamakeech, which is a Frogmaw. Does good damage in a small AoE, but it's an AoE it gets out quite often. There was another AoE which is bigger on... If I see it, I will... Yeah, on the Venra that I didn't like. Because I also felt the Venra didn't aim very well. Or it was very slow. But yeah, go and explore. The dragons you will only get in the endgame. And by endgame, I mean after you've ended the main story game. Which is where I am now. So go and explore. But now for my kind of review of the game. To TLDR, for most people I think don't get the game. Unfortunately. I've played it this far to know, and I've also seen the what do you call it? The Steam achievements show that people stop playing after... Most people stop playing after 5 hours. Then the next drop-off is 10 hours, and then you see almost no one after 15 hours. The amount of people who probably finish the game, I think, is under 3%. The main story game, not the captured everything. The amount of people who've captured everything, including the super blessed, which is another mechanic, that just allows your creatures to get more skill points and stuff, so they can get stronger. is something that I think 0.2% of people were able to complete. And I am not part of that 0.2%. I think if I quickly just look at my achievements, I fall on a 0.3% somehow. No, I lie. That can't be. Which is my... Yeah, I can't 0.3. So technically I'm under the 0.8. But let's say I fall under the 1%. We've gotten this far. At the point where I'm now, I'm just frustrated mostly at the game. So... And that's because I feel like everything from here is just a grind. If you want to go out and capture everything, you are in for a grind. If you want to be able to... I now have to go do a depth level 6 expedition. And I do not feel I've got enough food to deal with that. That's the food I have now because I keep having to heal in between stuff so that my creatures don't die. And then the dish of the day. I found this out a bit late. This is not a recommendation. Get this early on so you can stack up food. And don't use your food unless you need to. But harder said than done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in here and then I'm not going to... That's like, I think 40 gold or something. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to see if I can collect more food before we go on that expedition. Because that expedition killed me, I think, on the first section. Expeditions are generally set in like broken up into 3, I believe. I don't think I've seen... Was there 2 level 1s? Maybe in the beginning. Can't remember now. So stamina is generally a good pick to take, I think. Because you should technically be able to summon more creatures. But there's a lot of time where I'm like, why can I only summon 1 right now? Another pet peeve of me is that the stamina is being shared with your dodge roll. So, but now it isn't. No. Let's check. Okay, so stamina just comes back a lot slower if you are dodging. Because if it's full, it doesn't seem to take away your stamina. So in a way, it's on the same bar. I just wish that was separate. The other thing that is probably my main annoyance in this game, and I've spoken about it a couple of times, is actually catching the creatures. You can see here, if I want to capture this, I have to stay within that capture area, which is fine and well for a lot of the creatures. The main thing you need to do is just damage them enough so that that meter can fill quicker. That's all fine. That's fine for most creatures. So here you will see I can just go in this, and that will be a quick and easy capture. And that's also the only way you're going to get essences, which you are going to need if you want to create synergies to make your creatures stronger. Which, in a way, the synergies make it worthwhile for you to have at least 4 different kinds of creatures. So let's say nature, beasts, arcana or arcane, and eventually dragon. What was the other one? It will come back to me. Oh, mystic. So ideally, because to activate all of the different synergies, technically, no, maybe you cannot do it with only 2. Okay, so you can't activate a synergy for the creature of the same type with the same synergy. So it can't activate itself. Even though it might have the synergy, a beast might have the synergy for beast. So at most, well, oh, this is where it comes down. So you might have to at least have 3. Because each creature can have up to 3 synergies. So you might want to have at least 3 different synergies going in. I only have 2 here, which is a Beast and Arcana. Or Arcane. One of the two. So this is a more difficult creature to capture. Just on the case that you have to capture it twice. So you need two of the essences I have here. And the essences you get some places on the map. They are the ones that give you minor bonuses as well. Now I've knocked it down. Now it summons allies, and then you have to capture them again. So I didn't do the first capture, I just enraged it. Another thing, if it gets on too low HP, it enrages, can't capture it anymore. Even if it goes to the next stage, still can't capture it. That is a super... No, that's a blessed creature, and then you get the super blessed, which you have to do at the 3rd time. And that's not even the difficult part. The difficult part is making sure you don't... Okay, firstly, enrage them. Secondly, kill them. And then, lastly, you have to do that 3 times. Some of the creatures move around a lot. And that can either reset completely your bar. Or it can either reset your bar completely, or it can slow down your progress and then over time reduce it, because you're not standing in that area that you need to stand in. And some creatures are flying around and moving around a lot. So the windows where you might be able to get them is a lot shorter. So there you have to be very precise with managing how much HP they are on, because you want to make sure they aren't enraged, they are easy enough to capture, and while you're doing it, you don't want to damage them as you're trying to get rid of their allies that just spawned. And like I said, 0.2% of people were able to get all the super blessed creatures, and I'm quite sure that's the same 2% that's 100% the game, basically. So the capturing mechanic is kind of the most infuriating part of the game. Now, for actual gameplay, in the fun, it's quite in the fun. At the beginning, it's quite fun and entertaining. I've gotten this far because I still like the overall gameplay. I like that you can switch up different compositions and they play differently. But after 10 hours, the gameplay becomes very samey. And I think this is where the people, the second group of people who drop the game kind of drop it, because they're like, okay, there's just the same thing over and over. The story is okay. I wouldn't say it's anything special. So the story wasn't the reason why I kept playing. Main reason why I kept playing was because I wanted to capture all of the creatures, which at this moment just seems like a pain in the ass where I am, because I haven't seen one of the creatures, and I'm guessing that might be on a higher difficulty that I get to see it, or only after I've unlocked this new challenge in depth 6. But I'll still see what happens after that. I have no clue. I should be able to eventually get one of the ruins you need to capture one of the legendary creatures. And hopefully that means also access... Wait. Do I want to... Sorry. What do I want to heal my Mikra here? No. He's already cursed, so whatever. Cursed creatures... means 2 things. Your cursed creature can't heal in combat, and for it to be able to heal again, it needs to be left at home base so that it can naturally heal. Your creatures aren't gonna fully heal in between battles. Sometimes they will if they haven't taken a lot of damage. Sometimes it will take 2 to 3 runs in the wild to be able to do that. Also, the difficulty I am on now just feels like a lot of the stuff can be very damage tank. And you need this scaling, especially if you are going to upgrade monsters and want to keep the game challenging. So it's not something that I have a problem with. It's more that I feel it gets back to the grind. So if I want to continue this game, I'm going to have to grind so that I can get more HP, stronger creatures, more super blessed creatures of the kinds that I'm looking for. At this point, so after you've beaten the main storyline, you get the functionality to hunt. Hunt is essentially how you're going to make sure that you get... I don't know even why I'm standing now. It's going to allow you to actually capture creatures of specific types that you have seen. So if you haven't seen them, it doesn't get come up on the hunt screen. What that means is it's going to allow you to get super bless or bless creatures. But to be able to do that, you need to get the synergy essences for the creatures. So you have to first go capture a bunch of the same type that you want to go and hunt. And then you give those points up so that you can actually continue the hunt. And then the hunt, it's just extra complications. The hunt you activate on one area. So basically to say, okay, this is where I started the hunt. And then on the second area, it shows you where to get it. I'm not sure if it goes beyond that. I've only completed that just to complete it. Okay, we've got a bit more food. I'm going to stack up food. So we've got like 30 minutes left, and then I'm gonna do the last challenge here. So this is kind of a long review, but you've had my TLDR. I hope that was enough for most people. I don't mean to really dissuade people from getting this game. Just if you're gonna get it, I hope you're one of the top 5%. What do you need to be to get to the end? Oh, it was about 3% of people who finished the main quest line. So I hope you're part of the 3% who finished the main quest line, because up to there I think it's kind of at least worth. Where I am now, I'm like tired of the game. And it pains me because I don't want to be tired of the game. It's a style of game that I really want to see again in the future. Someone put together and actually... Oh wait, that's not gonna work. Wait, maybe it will. Let's try. Do I swap the other Dean maybe? For Mystic, I think. See what Mystics I have. Put Felix. Okay, so that activates everything except the green. So it's between Hotdog and Bruxa that I should swap out. I'm thinking Hotdog can rest a bit. And then probably the only nature that I really enjoy is Smush. But Kita is also not too bad. Don't like the rider stuff. Bambi can stun. Smush. Have I given any other synergies? Nope. Never run. So this is one of the legendary types. You can only capture legendary types as soon as you've got the ruins of... I've said that so many times, so I forgot. But the ruins. You need specific ruins to capture them. I'm thinking... Kita. Let's take Kita. I think I can give it at least a beast synergy. Now I've caught the beast creature. So you come over here. Grab this. Those are dragon synergies, which I'm probably never going to use, to be telling the truth. And then you choose what kind of synergy you get. I'll take eating. So they're the essence that you use for the synergies. Oh yeah. To get back to the other one, the stuff is called Dukur, Ruins of Dukur. Here's the arcane one, which I only have equipped because I had the arcane. To use the legendaries, you also have to keep them equipped. Basically, it's just a way to have more powerful creatures with you, but I don't like those creatures. Well, I don't dislike them. I just like the ones that I have more. I think I said what I said. I like the ones that I have right now more. In my head, I was like, did I just say dislike? Okay, so there's the hunt and the hunt season. I don't know what's the hunting season. Does this mean you can only get certain ones during certain times? I don't know. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. So let's go buy some food. Just keep on stacking up. And then we can combine. So I can combine those. Okay. Then we go keep on with the grind. So what I've got keys left. So what I might do, because I am missing, I know one of the creatures I'm missing. I'm not quite sure what the other creature is that I'm missing. If I can find a chest. Let's try the search screen. Doesn't show chests. Alright, just shows chests in general. Doesn't show chests by type. And that will come up. If it does come up. And I'm still trying to figure out what creature am I missing. See if this gives an overall view of the creatures I have. Okay, so that's one. No, that's just showing the ones I have captured so far. Soundboard. I wish it just showed me what I have currently, but I guess it has its own purpose. Because I've basically captured at least one, or found at least one of everything except these two. Oh, wait. I think I saw that. What I was looking for. So, there's an X here at the bottom. No, it just shows the captured ones. Doesn't show the ones I have currently. Any woot. So let's go back to the grind. So again, my focus is getting food. There's 3 food there and then one on the door at the end. So you eventually get this ability that allows you to use your staff's ability. I only use it when I'm fighting the final bosses. And that's what kind of made the last Ixa fight completely a joke. As soon as I figured out that Ixa was just moving around in circles in the first area, not really moving around in circles, but he was moving to the place you were lost. I ended up just moving in circles because that way he could never attack me. And I was kind of annoyed in the beginning because it seemed there was no tell of where he was going to attack from. And then I noticed, oh, he's just attacking where you were. And then you just run in circles. And you get past that area. And then when I got to his final form, I just used my staff ability. Along with... along with the artifact of the doors, which means if I've got 4 creatures, if I understand this correct, I've got 4 creatures summoned, then I'm doing 100. Each one of them is doing 120 extra damage. And the staff ability allows me to summon creatures without the use of stamina. I don't know if there are other staff abilities. I do not think so. I've not seen any. That plus, by then my HP was below 50, so it's like 160 extra damage. And then I just wasted the final form. As if it was a joke when I got to it. The first area gave me more trouble with like the creatures and everything that got summoned. But it was kind of a disappointing fight because of that. I didn't even see if it had any more to give. It had like 2 phases and then... Oh, yeah, you go. That was that. I was thinking, if I knew how to mod this game, the only 2 things that I would change really is the tumble or the roll, so that it doesn't use stamina. It can just you should only be able to do, I don't know, 3 tumbles in a certain amount of time, and then the tumble meter should come back. I keep calling it tumbles because I keep forgetting what the actual name is of it, weirdly enough, and that's many times. So it is the dodge. Yeah, why do I keep forgetting the dodge? Because I'm thinking of what it really is. It is a tumble or a roll. So I would take away the stamina effect, or the effect it has on stamina when you are rolling, because I feel it shouldn't be stamina. She should be using inner chi or something. Or with Lukha in the beginning, I changed the character to a female character for diversity's sake, I guess. Actually, it's just because I like the female characters generally. I did like Lukha. He was a bit of a wet noodle. Not in the sense of being a bad complaining character, because he wasn't complaining ever. Basically, he was just sweet and nice the whole time. Didn't speak his mind, and then eventually just sacrificed himself for what he believed was the... Oh, sorry, that was a spoiler. But he kind of does say that he is going to sacrifice himself. Because he basically becomes the... He is the vessel for Dracula. And then eventually, yeah. Unfortunately, when Dracula comes back. But there is more to it. That's not completely everything to what happens, but yeah. That is unfortunately a spoiler. Sorry about that. What is the time on this? If I remember, I'll put in a spoiler alert. If I don't, yeah, enjoy your spoiler. And for those who have watched all the way through the playthrough, yeah, you know by now. So maybe instead of calling him a wet noodle, because a wet noodle sounds more like someone who is complaining. So this is something else you unlock later on. You can go down, dungeon dive. Let's do it. Oh, we need to clear the area first. It's just he doesn't feel like much of a special character or someone you can deeply connect with, unfortunately. And I kind of feel the same of the other characters. The story isn't the strong suit, but it does keep pace with what's going on at least. Where I'm now, where there's no story, I'm like, okay, am I just here for 2 more creatures, or for a couple of dragons that I'll probably never play with, or play with very little? Either way, I still hope I can capture the last 2 creatures. Do not want to give up yet. I've gotten this far. So there's also the mechanic to bring your creatures back to you. If you do not use it, you are gonna fail. just how it is. Because at the end of the time, if your creatures are running back to you and you aren't taking care of them, they're just gonna get hurt. And if they get cursed, then you're gonna die eventually. Here's a bit more food. You can also use it to make sure that they don't get hit by creature attacks and stuff. What's this one? Should have actually checked what that was. But that's, you pick up the gems down here. That's basically what you do. And they can slot into your artifacts. But I feel they're very minor, at least so far that I've seen. Maybe at higher levels they become more impactful. But yeah, what I would still give the game props for is that overall it works pretty well. There isn't... You don't see much of any glitches. It's like, maybe I've seen 3 in my time I've played. None that broke the game, and none that crashed the game. Not one that crashed the game. There is a proper variety, and they definitely tried to bring different creatures into the game and different mechanics of the creatures. Okay, so we picked up... I can't even look what it is. Okay. There's the search mechanic to find stuff, which is a nice thing to have. Otherwise, you might have... Hey, Bijed. Someone, are you Big Ed or are you Bijed? I still don't know. But yeah, yeah, I've got my longest supporting viewer here, along with my other longest, I would say longest supporting, but they're always different. They've always got different names. Longest supporting website that comes to complain. Sorry, not complain. Let me actually also... I'm just quickly going to put on the overlay for the screenshot again. Because when I get hyper-focused, I see nothing around me. But yeah, this website, please do not go to it, streamboo.com. They want to sell me viewers from day one. And I'm guessing that's the same with everyone that's on here. I wish there was a way to block them. Maybe I can just block the name Streamboo. I'll figure out. I'll see something. But yeah, basically my first comment was Streamboo ever. And I'm like... And they've been here almost in every chat, so... You guys are a pain in my ass. Because I don't want to buy fake ass viewers and then have fake ass analytics. And just be fake ass. I will be honest, I have done it before, long ago. And it was with Instagram. And then I learned my lesson. The lesson is, firstly, you've got a lot of useless people following you now. You have no clue how much actual interactive people you have. I think I can fit these together, yeah. But yeah, it's just a waste of time and space. Grab that, say hello. Dish of the day, and then dish of the day. Is this enough food? I do not think so yet. I think we still need more food. When did I start? I think half an hour ago? Yeah, about. Still have some time to run around. Run around and get more. Oh, that's why it's been feeling so easy, because I'm not even on the hottest difficulty. I'm just gonna stay here. Let's see. No, we're gonna get freaking that other thing upgraded. Because I see there's no level 3 pearls again. Yeah, but let's keep on. I was like, why does this game feel easy again? I was frustrated when I was grinding earlier because I was on the more difficult stage. I want food. This gives me lots of food. I just have my in-game stream overview on every time. Because eventually I do see people's messages, but it is generally a while after they've posted. So hyperfocus, from at least my variation of ADD, is amazing for certain things. It's terrible for other things. And it's weird. Like, how can you have attention deficit but have extreme attention at the same time? Isn't that an odd combination? I forgot to swap the creature. It is fine. We'll get through here fine. Who's that broadcaster? Hey, it's calling me a broadcaster. I shall take that. My little poor guys. You've got leech and you've got evasive, and you still get knocked out. Okay, but we are here for food. Hey. Like, the difficulty spike between this and the next difficult was enough to just make it a pain in my ass. Because I was grinding a bit before this and I just kept dying on normal maps, not even the difficult stuff, and using all of my food and stuff. Luckily, there is a way to go back in difficulty, so you don't have to just be stuck complaining and shouting at the game the whole time. I think the other reason why I've kept on playing this game is because I set a goal. And I don't set many goals, so the goals that I do set I want to complete. And the goal was here to capture all of the creatures. Unfortunately, it seems like that's not going to happen. But I got pretty close. I'll take the 90 something %. Another thing that I've noticed, like, in the beginning, while you're still learning to stream and trying to gain followers and entertain people and all of these things, someone said that the viewer count can... This thing is stuck behind here, but at least I can't get to it. The viewer count can be toxic. That's basically their words. I agree. So I also kind of removed my viewer count thing, as because it kind of becomes two things. Firstly, like, I usually check my viewers just to see if someone is online. My viewer stat thing is broken. It is not showing me people even when people are online. I don't know what's going on there. But that's the one in OBS, not the Twitch one. But when I was watching it for a while, I was like, okay, this is kind of demotivating when you see that you're sitting in with one follower. And guess what? That one follower is yourself. So you're sitting and chatting with yourself. But there's always the reminder that in the beginning, you cannot compare to your end goal. Let's say my end goal is by the end of the year, I want to see if I can be entertaining enough to bring 100 people joy so that they can follow the channel. I had to find a way to phrase that without just sounding like I'm talking nonsense. But that's basically what it comes down to. So I've got 5 followers now, which is amazing. Got Big Ed, who keeps on coming back to my streams. Thank you for the support. And I know it was Omo, I believe. Wrote people's names down here. Yeah. It was Omo 1984. And then Ashgard Y2K, and I know the other name. I know the person by another name. But yeah, there's Bugsy and Origami Kitsune as well. Thank you everyone for following. But what I want to get back to is, like, it can be demotivating when you've spent a certain amount of time and you do not see much of a progress. Which is fair and well. So, in a way, you don't want to keep fixating on the viewer count. You kind of want to, in my feeling, where I am now, think of just ways to enjoy what you are doing. And this is now playing games. So that isn't so difficult. But at the same time, I want to progress. And that's why I'm learning to be a good team. But I'm gonna swap these out. Deposit. Actually do I have? Yeah. I want the greenie here with me again. I can take Bambi, but I think Smush probably will be the better fit. Kind of lost track of thought there. That's me being inattentive, I guess. So, Smush, who would you be the best partner of? Someone who can actually deal damage. So I'm going to put you with Brooks. I've got a Mystic. Let's put a Mystic synergy on Smush. So, otherwise, you kind of have to motivate yourself. And my motivation is that I'm actually enjoying this a lot. I'm not finding it difficult to be here, talk, try to be entertaining. And yeah, I think if I am able to grow the channel with time, I'll just enjoy it more. What I'm trying, let's do the poison one. That's easy enough to get. And along the way, I want to learn skills. So one of the skills is voice acting. For two reasons. I want to sound more entertaining. Let's see. I want to sound more entertaining. And I also want to try and do voiceovers for the characters at the same time. I love skill development. Though generally I've got all of these random skills at the end of the day. Like tightrope walking, which I can kind of do. I haven't done that in a while, so I can do a once over. Can walk over once. Every now and then. Let's see. It's got good food and it's got a chest. Let's go check this one out. So I'm gonna stack as much as food as I can until I've got like 30 minutes left in the stream, and then we're gonna see if I take on the new challenge, the last challenge, which is completed depth level 6 expedition. If I can get the last Duca ruin, if it is even a Duca ruin, because as far as I know, he only made 4. As far as I know. Okay. So I was thinking of another game that could replace this stream. And I'm still thinking it will be Nobody Saves the World. But let me just pause this. I saw something else coming out. Let me just see what the stats is on this one. Just take me back to it is the full release of The Last Flame, and this was a game I loved a lot. I might actually be, that's coming out on the 9th of January. I might actually switch over to that for a while before I start Nobody Saves the World, because I would like to see what has come of the game. How the balance looks like now, what creatures and items and stuff they've gotten in. It maybe doesn't fit the RPG theme that I want for pop streams, but I can maybe still find a way to roleplay, I guess. More voice acting. We'll see. So that game is proper roguelike, team builder, auto battler. Another genre I really love. I was also thinking of doing it on the PSD broadcast, but I'm doing Puff Excel there at the moment, and I'm quite enjoying Puff Excel. I was finding it very difficult, and it will probably get difficult again. Luckily, one of my friends assisted me with a bit of a boost. And also with knowledge, because I've played the game until, I think, 2 characters above level 80 or something. That's next level. Or one is above 70 and the other one's above 80. Where am I supposed to drag this? Not down here, right? Hey, it is down here. So I'll probably switch over to that. Might even stream that during off session times, just so that I can have a feel for the game before I start on it on Monday. No? Yeah, on Monday. So a thing I like, and another thing in this game that I do like, that takes away a bit of the monotony, is these skill challenges. Talk about another skill challenge. There is this thing that unlocks where you have to use specific creatures to finish an area. I'll be honest, I'm not going to play that because I like using specific creatures, but it doesn't force you. You only have to do one of them. Not what they were called. It's some kind of challenge. It's next to the. It's on the top of the map, next to the. Okay, my brain is frazzled. Yeah. Not because it's difficult, just because I'm trying to think of the name now. Okay. Was there anything that we wanted? We wanted food, yeah, and I don't think we have collected it all yet. Let's check the last section. So this seems easy, just because this is kind of the level my creatures are at. For this difficulty level. I don't know why there feels like such a big curve for the next difficulty level. But I was punished in tier 7. And I think it goes up to tier 8 or 9. Okay. Did I get no? Oh, there's still more to here. More to this area. So there is also the mechanic in this game where you can give your creature direction, which I never use, or almost never use, like there. Hold it in and you point them in direction. I find that's just very slow. I want to get creatures out to hit stuff quickly. Kill stuff quickly before they can get to me. Sometimes you have to do it, especially if you're trying to capture creatures and you want to go around the creature you're trying to capture to kill the allies so that they don't interfere. Then it's very important that you use that. Otherwise, there are some skills that some of the creatures use that are directional. So when they come out, they need to be directed, basically. Otherwise, they're going to do no damage. I think there's one more space to go to. Hey, and there is the chest. What is it? Freaking another Devu. Another thing that I'm not going to use just because it's a rideable creature. So also, if you want to upgrade your artifacts and stuff, it is going to be a grind. Not just for resources, but also for money, coins, because they cost a lot of coins to upgrade. For the beginning of the game, I never upgraded nothing. Until I just sat down and grinded and grinded and grinded and got bored and grinded more. I really do not like grinding in games. Unless they make it fun. It's actually generally the reason why I drop most games. So this spot has been good enough in this area. We can do one more and then we're gonna go on the finish the challenge and see if we can get the last 2 creatures. Yes, please. So by combining the ingredients, you generally get stronger and more useful buffs from them. It's not like a massive difference, but it does make a difference. I think we are mostly stacked for food. I'm going to run one more, I think. I think that is probably going to be the best for food. Between that, but there is a level. There's just a level. Oh, it's a level 3. I'm gonna go do this one. I'm not gonna try and capture. Hey, this one has got 3 food. Oh. My drink is finished. Should have used my giant jug, which is basically just like an old coffee what do you call it? Glass container. Another reason why I'm enjoying doing the streaming and stuff is because I get to talk and use my memory. And that sounds kind of weird, maybe. But the reason why it's important to me is because I feel I've got difficulty sometimes finding words, like basic words. So I tend to go look in a bucket for words in my mind. I don't know how to express it better than that. It's basically like my brain puts words in buckets, and then I can't find the word I'm looking for, but I can find words that are closely related. Problem is sometimes I have to use words that I don't completely understand. So then and it's because I can't find the easier word. Then I sound like someone who's trying to be self-important and also dumb at the same time because I don't understand the word. I understand the word works in a certain context because that is how I've read it. But it seems to apply. But with that said, at least here I've got practice to speak more and use my memory more so that it doesn't get atrophied, which I believe is the actual thing. So over the long run, it will be good for my mental health, for my intellectual mental health. So back in the day, when I was still eating wheat and grains and bread and all that stuff, my words were a terrible mess. Because back then my ADD, bipolar, those two were a hot big problem. Because what I believe was causing swelling to my brain. I don't have like actual evidence of it. I just know when I stopped eating grains and figured out it was grains that was causing most of my worst symptoms, that I forgot where I wanted to go with that. But basically, when I stopped eating the grains, I was able to start following people's conversations a lot easier. I mean, now I don't have problems with that. My memory for words improved dramatically. I still forget words often enough, or just have to take my time to get the word or the name or whatever, which I think is something more people can have in common. Experience that more people can have in common with me than what I had before, which was almost like a difficulty to just complete sentences or figure out how I'm gonna express to someone an idea because I was having difficulty. Oh, okay. Did I make a good comeback? Having difficulty expressing myself. And that was always like one of my biggest problems. When you've got all of these ideas and thoughts and sometimes problems that you want to express, but you can't get the bloody word that connects to what you're trying to say. That was very frustrating. And then along with that, my bipolar symptoms are basically gone from not eating wheat. So I was diagnosed bipolar, what was it, not otherwise specified, NOS, because I don't experience the symptoms for like a long time. It's generally for like short periods, but it's very up and down, or it was when I was still eating bread and stuff. So I would have extreme racing thoughts, like insane. Like the highest I've ever been was smoking weed and eating wheat. Ever. I thought I was going crazy basically. And that was because my thoughts were insane. They were just running, racing, and also not in a good place. And then the depression also after those episodes of the manic episodes and stuff. But generally, I had it quite easy still in comparison to what I've heard from other people. Especially because I was able to figure out how to deal with it just by changing my diet, which isn't possible for everyone. But I think if that information can help other people, I'm super glad, because it took me probably 20 years to figure out it was the bread. I just thought you feel like shit all this time, like it was just normal. Like I had low energy, difficulty thinking, difficulty with words, heavy difficulty concentrating. There we go. I think that's everything we need to grab. Yeah. And then I think, was it because I went vegan for a while or something? I noticed all of the differences that my diet did make to my my general well-being, and especially in my case it was dairy. But yeah, I've got other diet restrictions now, but for different reasons. But my main diet restrictions were not when I was vegan, when I just in general, that it stopped that because my diet restrictions was getting out of hand. Was wheat and dairy. Some other grains also. I'm not precisely sure. If it's still like that, but I think like quinoa and definitely oats. And I've gone for gluten sensitivity tests and all of that stuff. Came back negative, but I think it's because I wasn't currently eating this stuff, so there wasn't markers for the insensitivity shown because there was no inflammation or whatever caused because I was not eating this stuff. And yeah, I won't ever be reintroducing that to my diet, even though bread was one of my favorite stuff. Like probably still one of my favorite things, like peanut butter and jam on a sandwich. But anyway, let's go sort the food out, and then we'll try this bloody challenge. I think I'll be able to do it. Let's cook the ingredients we just picked up. That's fine. And then these two. Then get the dish of the day. Okay, so I would say we should be able to do it with that food. And I don't know if this composition is going to work, but I am going to try. So far it's been doing good. Let's switch over here. And then I have to do an expedition, which I only have one scroll. So you see next to that, you've got the ascension stuff. That's what I was talking about earlier. So you can... let's just... You can... Hey. Wait. What is the... I'm pressing the wrong button here. How do I undo this? Okay. I didn't want to go up. How do I unselect something? Oh, so I've completed it with those. So now I can choose if I want to go make a body out of those. Oh, okay. That I didn't see yet. Okay. So you kind of begin here in the beginning, and then from there it seems you can choose other bodies. And then that becomes your body to do Ascension Run, which is kind of like a... I think it was like an expedition kind of thing. What you get out of it is probably just to complete Ascension. I don't know. Doesn't bother me. So we're gonna do the dangerous expedition. Doesn't have to be dangerous. Probably. I've got 2 super blaze, which is gonna be a pain in the ass. Hopefully I can just stay it till the end. But let's keep our creatures lively. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna be very careful to try and not accidentally bring a bunch of other stuff with me. Earlier I was pissed off because there was like 5 stuff in the beginning surrounding me and then I just died. Or I got a lot of damage, I can't remember the case, but that was super annoying. Okay, let us... Oh, come on. I'll take you on alone. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I don't want to bring more of its allies, yeah? So that's a two-paper. They're not too bad. I was thinking of adding one to my thing, but it didn't seem to be very effective. Okay. Just keep this controls. Glad it is the super place I'm fighting against. Some of the super plays are just suck to fight against. Okay, now it should bring... Oh, almost. Okay, push me back. Bring your other ally. Let's see if we can finish that ally. Yeah. Grab the heal. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this very careful. And that's... It's just tank. It's just so tank. One, two. Can you poison him at least? So he doesn't go underneath again. So, tank. Jeez. Oh, and another. At least this one didn't join the fight earlier. This one can be a problem if I give it too much time to charge. Okay. So far my creatures are doing fine. I'm the one taking the damage. But I am fine with that. Let's get this. I'm in 2 mines here. I think we've got enough food to keep me topped up. Okay, let's see if... Is that everything here? Yeah. Let's see if any of our creatures get an upgrade. Yes. Healer and... Energetic. And we've got 3. Sharp. Okay, that is sharp. Okay. To the next area. I'm hoping we get to the end as soon as possible. To aggro as little as possible. At the same time. Okay, those... Okay. Felix seems to be doing good damage. Some honey. Okay. Just need to make sure I've got my creatures ready. And some more food. So one thing I don't understand. So Ixa is now gone and Drukar has taken the space as the king of creatures again. Why are the creatures still cursed? So you can see in their eyes that they are definitely still cursed. But why? Is there something of like a secondary story going on here? Or is it just a pain in the ass to get rid of that? I'm sure it's not a pain of the ass because the creatures you summon don't have that. Could have maybe even changed the color to like yellow instead of red eyes or something. Okay, that poison on the Smush is actually helping a lot. And can I get through in? So this is one of the dragons you'll only see at this point in the game. Okay, my creatures seem to be getting their specials quite often, which is very good because I need it for healing and defense. So far we're doing pretty good. We are doing pretty good. I think the combinations I have here are making a difference. Leave my smushy alone. There we go. Okay, so this is here. That's probably the easy. Yeah, that's the only problem. So I was saying in the beginning, the fights with the creatures aren't the difficult thing, and the difficult thing is the capturing of the creatures. But difficulty definitely goes up later on. Or at least where I am now. To the point that it was frustrating. Make sure you are healed. Almost went curse mode. I can get it out of curse. I think I still have blueberries in some of the dishes that we made. But yeah, at this point the game is just difficult. And I have to take my time. And make sure that I'm well prepped. I think the aesthetic of this game is kind of deceptive in that way. Because I thought, hey, this looks like a cute little game. It did say it was a difficult game. So the publishers definitely did know it was that. And it was tagged that on Steam. But overall the game was pretty easy for most of it. Especially with the ability to just overpower your staff. Okay, then. Okay, cool. Advance. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the shortest route here. Shortest, slowest route. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna use all of this shield on. Okay. What are we gonna take? Stamina. I think let me just for safety's sake start healing myself. Yeah, that should do well. I think that should up the smush. What do you have? Lucky is good, but it only has one. what else it has. I'll leave it on healer, even though healer doesn't really fit it that well. So for healer to activate, it needs to take down other creatures, which I understand is still the effect, but that you're getting heals, but it doesn't really fit a healer or a support unless you're playing like Forbush here, who does a decent amount of damage on himself, so he can proc the healer effect more easily. But Smush is just the healer that does some damage, not a lot. Oh, the other thing that I would change, I was talking about changing the stamina system, or at least the dodge affecting the stamina system, is how you capture creatures. Because I do not like that sliver thing. It makes it difficult, but also just painful to capture some creatures. And you also have to stand next to some creatures while they're beating the living crap out of you. I did find an artifact, which I don't have equipped now, which works with the arcane creatures. When you summon arcane creatures, it makes you invisible for a short duration. If you use that, it makes it a lot easier to capture some creatures. I say some, because it comes with the negative effect of you're summoning. You have to summon a creature, so you might possibly kill the thing that you're trying to capture. If you hit it too hard while you're trying to capture it. So that thing also helped with capturing creatures eventually when I did try. And you have to get the creatures on low life. But I was thinking I would have just made it a lot simpler. Oh, and this doesn't have to be for everyone. This could have just been like a mod or something. Just have the creatures become super powerful. Even if it has like 3 stages or whatever. Or just super strong or something. And then you have to defeat it. And then you capture it. Like it gets knocked out on the ground and then you throw it in it. Essentially what you're really doing. Putting it in a spirit orb. So it doesn't look like poaching or something. I don't know. I would have enjoyed that more because then you're using the mechanics of the game that are already fun, and that is the fighting. Also, the creatures that can help you capture stuff that stun or slow, not stun, or what was the other one? Freeze. They can only use that stun or freeze when they've got a full ability bar available. So you can use it maybe once if you're lucky, twice. And that might help you capture the creature. So, but then you have to have those creatures in your body, and I found them kind of not my favorites. So the one that freezes doesn't do any damage, which is good for capturing. The other one does a lot of damage and stuns, which is generally good for just having a creature doing that. We're finding Bakura. Are you more tank than normal? You're definitely more tank. Just make sure. Let's do this. Yeah, usually he's not very difficult to take down, especially if you take your staff out. But I'm gonna bring your creatures down, and then you're just gonna keep on taking damage. That's also fine. Just have to make sure that my creatures aren't the ones getting down. Ooh, lovely. Yo. What happened there? I was not being careful there. Can still get Forbush uncursed. So you just need I think a divine thing to get them uncursed. Okay. That's fine. We only have one more area. What are you doing? Okoro, stop doing that. It's okay. You can raise your head. You can raise your head. But yeah, I want to see more games like this. Just want them to learn from what works and what doesn't work. This game has an insane rating, which is like, I think 88 at the moment on Steam. And I think that rating comes from people playing the game for 2 hours and then giving it a rating. And not everyone, there are people who've played this for like 30 that really love the game. Which is fair. I just don't understand how people can play the game for 2 hours, think it's great, and then never play it again. Well, that's what makes Steam reviews a bit weird. Some games, sometimes you would get really high Steam reviews, it seems, just because the game works. And no one has any real reason to complain. And for the first 5 hours of play, I don't think there is any reason to complain, to be honest. Okay. Just take our time here again. And for the 1% of people, there was no reason to complain ever. They just enjoy the game. So if you've seen me play, think all of my reasoning for disliking it is nonsense. Maybe this is still the game for you. Maybe. If you can argue and then spend the money and then play this game for like 35 hours to completely finish it, yeah. I mean, I'm at 30 hours now. Going for 31 hours. Probably at 31 hours, really. Yeah. Okay, we are at least making good mission now. But it's not about me or you proving the other wrong. It's more about finding out if this is the game for you or not. For me, it was good enough to get this far. Maybe if it was actually boring combat, I would not. That's a kind of creature that I would like to capture, right? Probably never use. Okay, but let's see if, do I even want to do this? Now I'm gonna need the orbs to capture the other creatures. Plus now to upgrade a Forbush would be a pain in the ass. Okay. But I wanted to show you how that you can still capture something like that. It is just mission. But other than that, I think I would have wasted a lot of food trying to capture it as well. The mission now is just to complete the mission. And that does not involve... And there's 2 of these shields. That is such a pain in the ass. Okay. The Claw Woo, you're not gonna make much of a difference in this battle. So... why don't you just stay out? What? You freaking put on a shield and... Yeah? Oh yeah? Now he's just starting to annoy me. Okay, wait. At least take the one down. Okay. We're getting there. You can do this. Okay, now they're just taking unnecessary damage. Taking you. What happened with my stamina though? Just take that one on. Just don't bring up your shield, please. Thank you. Goodbye. Need to do some healing. I think this music is also keeping me relatively calm. And also the fact that I'm on the stream. I'm not gonna lose my shit on the stream yet. So far everything has been pretty chill. I haven't had to deal with like 5 creatures ganging up on me as I get spawned. Losing all of my money. I was grinding. To upgrade my one artifact, which I did get the ingredients for. At least we got some food back there. Wood I will probably never use. Not never. Never not. Okay. They are doing good with dealing with the shields. I don't know why. Don't start ramming me. That's gonna be a bad experience. Starting to wonder if I am on the right difficulty because this is starting to feel a bit too easy. Quite sure I'm on the right difficulty. I did use a lot of food though. So it's not like it's been a walk in the park. But considering how much pain the first try was, I am pretty surprised that it's going this well. Oh. I said that and then one of my creatures just almost got nuked. Okay. Can you stop with your shields? That's why I love you so much, Phobos. What you love, you can hate when you don't have it in your retinue, I guess. Yeah. Felix is doing very good work keeping both alive and doing damage. There we go. This is gonna keep on going in this direction. Yeah, okay, that was the right direction. The one direction we had to go in. The Venera was one of the easiest Super Blaze creatures to capture because it just does damage in that area. It attacks super slow. You just don't stand in that area. But that's just what it comes down to. You just have to make sure you don't kill it, like I have, because they don't have a lot of HP. I think the Venera needs a boost, but also it needs better aim. Because its aim sucks when it's on your side. At least that's how it feels. I think it's maybe one of those user input things that I need to aim it, but I don't want to aim it. I want it to aim itself. Basically. Can deal a lot of damage in an area. Right? But I felt like it never dropped the area where I wanted it to be dropped, and it kept dying because it doesn't have a lot of HP. I think I'm pretty set for this section. So, can. Ah. Don't think I have. Will this work? Yes. Go. Just want to avoid having cursed creatures. I don't think you can use the special from the staff twice in a combat like this. Maybe X, Y. I'm gonna stand away from you. There we go. Actually did take a lot of damage there at the end. That was kind of close. But we did finish it. Complete Quest of Depth 6. That is 0.6%. I want Bruxa. You can chill for a bit, but who am I gonna... Bruxa is a beast. Yes. So Hot Dog can probably replace him for now. Let me think. Completes an objective. Oh my word. Okay, so how do I get that again now? Seriously. How do I get lost to creatures? Where is the lost... That thing. Where's the lost rune? Come. So we're not capturing the lost two creatures. I'm sorry. But what am I gonna do? That's basically the end of the stream anyway. So, to my own disappointment, hopefully not too much, we did not capture all of the creatures. I will go through which ones I have in the inventory. Oh, let's go through this to show which creatures we have captured. So we've captured 37 of the creatures. I don't know when the last two become available because I have seen one never, which I thought was just going to be in one of the... I'm going pretty quick through this. Was seeing if I could get the one in one of the areas. So these were just in different areas. These 4. So I thought this was just going to be in a different area. Never saw it. This is the legendary. I can't capture that without the last ruin, I think. Because I've tried putting all 4 ruins together. I think the only point to put all 4 ruins together, and for you to do that, you have to also get these, the first and second twin. And you have to use both of them. Then you have to go activate this, so that you can use all the legendaries in your squad. Those. So you need the ruins of Juko for nature, mystic, beast, and arcane. But yeah, this ends my playthrough of this game. Overall, I didn't hate it. It's like a hate-love relationship, I guess. There is good points in the game, mostly the combat. It does get a bit drawn out eventually. Because you see the same areas over and over and over again. And you end up playing with more or less the same creatures. And when you're done with the story, I didn't feel like there was any more point to go on except to try and capture creatures, and I can't get 2 of them. I don't know if I have to go and complete all of the challenges to get them. That is super annoying. Unless Baldwin, for some reason, just has the last ruin. He does not. Overall, I did get infuriated a lot with the game. And I did enjoy parts of the game. So, I don't know. It's just a difficult one to recommend because of all of that pain that I had to go through. So, I'm not recommending it, but never will I come in between you and your freedom to choose what games you want to play. So, that brings us to the close of our broadcast. I am your host, Popsparkle Doom, signing off. To my fellow residents of New Earth, keep on shining.